get your issue splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See you, Lee, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers Speakers. I'm your host, Joe, and I got my co-host, B. Foster. Before we get into this feature profile player profile, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube and make sure you're following us on all the podcast aggregators. All you got to do is type in Bleachers Speakers, FFSN in your search. Make sure that notification bell is on, so when we drop new content, you'll get an alert. You can download those episodes for us. Foster, we have another newly acquired Lion. This guy, if you watch football, you'll know who this person is by name. But Foster's going to talk a little bit about him. Who we got, Foster?
All right, next we're going to talk about Jamal Adams out of, wouldn't you know it, LSU. Again, he's a 29-year-old safety. He's 6'1", 213 pounds. He was drafted 6th overall by the New York Jets. In 2017, he ran a 4.33 40 at his pro day in LSU, and he was the first DB selected in the draft. He was impactful all 3 years at LSU. By his sophomore year, his best year was his sophomore year, where he played in 12 games, had 67 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, 4 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. And he was rewarded with the second team All SEC award or selection. And then his junior year, his final year, he was first team All SEC. Right out of the gate, when he was drafted by the Jets, he was elected as the starting strong safety. And that year he started 16 games, had 83 tackles, 6 pass deflections, 2 sacks, and he was on the all rookie team. So not too shabby for a rookie. By 2018, he was attending his first of 3 straight Pro Bowls. In 2018, he had 115 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, and he was second team AP All-Pro. This is a second-year player we're talking about. But by 2019, there were trade rumors swirling around. He definitely made the press with his own opinions on that, voicing that he was disappointed, but that he would be interested in possibly playing for his hometown team, the Dallas Cowboys, because he is from Lewisville, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. By 2020, he was ultimately traded to the Seahawks. And that year, he actually broke the record for the most sacks by a defensive back with 9.5 sacks, which is a boatload of sacks for a safety to obtain. He attended his 3rd straight Pro Bowl alongside his other safety next to him, Quadre Diggs. In 2021, and mind you, this is a player that was acknowledged several times throughout his career as a top 100 player. And he was, around the top 30 mark, in fact. And in 2021, he was rewarded with a major deal, which of 4 years, $72 million, with a $20 million signing bonus and guaranteed $38 million. And that made him the highest paid safety in history. So this is another player. The one thing about those LSU is they breed their players to play right away and to be productive in the NFL. And this is another All-Pro player out of LSU who had a strong couple of years early in his career, and ultimately he would also be signed by the Detroit Lions this week. To provide depth to a secondary that hasn't had a ton of major long-term injuries outside of Ife Melifonwu and Mosley that has missed all of the beginning of the year. But it has been said that Jamal Adams has actually been working with the linebackers in practice since he's been in Detroit. So there's definitely an opportunity for him to make an impact in a couple different ways. But we're going to get into, why that is so that he would even be playing linebacker. He's a player that has thrived based off of his elite energy and motor, which has allowed him to fly all over the field and make plays. He's an excellent blitzer. As I said earlier, he had 9.5 sacks, which he obtained in only 12 games in 2020. And a lot of those sacks were out of the fire zone concept, which is a concept where the team rushes five guys, drops 3 into the under coverage, and then 3 deep as well. So hopefully I did the math right on that. 3 and 3. I think that's 11 players. But anyways, yes. So he blitzed well out of that fire zone. He uses his speed off the edge to get around running backs and tight ends who tried to block him to no avail. He's also a strong run defender as well. He's versatile. He can play that 2 high safety. He's got the capability of playing linebacker, but he can also defend in the box off the edge as well, which is where you very well may see him. That's where you very well might see him as a Detroit Lion, assisting in run defense on a very decimated linebacking core. But we'll see as he gets more comfortable. He'll certainly be activated to the main roster. He's somebody that people kind of counted out, counted out and thought that he was washed up. So he's definitely determined to prove the naysayers wrong. As you can see, he last played for the Tennessee Titans. He played a couple games for them, got injured, and then requested a release, which they would eventually agree to. So now he is a Detroit Lion, and he's yet another LSU player that is looking to, provide some veteran leadership and try to get a ring.
Out of all the acquisitions, I'm most excited about this one. This guy, he's proven. And it's very interesting. He's practicing with the linebackers. And I think where Jamal Adams had thrived was playing in zone coverage. And where Rodriguez was playing, he was basically filling in Fanzalone a lot in those plays. And you lose Rodriguez and you bring in this guy, and he'll be able to play some of that linebacking position that we were missing from Anzalone. And I think this is more than a sufficient to pull this one out of wherever. You know what I'm saying? This is a great acquisition. And I'm not saying that it's, equivalent to a first round draft pick in the draft or something like that, but this is a very, very good player. And I'm glad he's on our roster. I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. Foster, you done another masterful job, bro. Subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube.
Get your lick back. If a nugget gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back.